House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi became a member of Congress through a special election 30 years ago. She has led House Democrats for the last 14 years, including a stint as the first female speaker. But the Democratic Party's losing streak in recent special elections prompted some House colleagues to question her leadership.
Nancy Pelosi was a great speaker. She is a great leader, but her time has come and gone.
I think it's time for change, and these election results frankly show that.
If we're going to regain the majority in 2018, we have to have new leadership.
You think
right.
Nancy Pelosi is more toxic than Donald Trump?
You know what? The honest answer is, in some areas of the country, yes, she is. That's the honest answer.
Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, good morning.
Good morning.
You want to respond to what you
Well,
just...
I mean, it's like I'm here and we're hearing all these other people. They had their time on TV. This is such a small item. It isn't about me. Right now, our fight is about the Affordable Care Act. I've always had a challenge in the caucus right from the start when I was first elected.
Okay, but let's look at this, too. You have been losing special elections.
Okay.
And 4 of them, and people say it's because the Democratic Party, of which you're a leader, has no message. Your only message is anti-Trump.
No, that isn't true. First of all, let me just say, these are 4 races we would never have chosen to go into. They were chosen by Donald Trump. 4 races were double-digit lead for the Republicans in previous elections. We picked up 70 points, 25 and one race, 15, 20, like that in the 4 races. The people in those states are very happy because we've pushed the Republicans very far back. Me, I like to win. But this was, the people in Georgia worked very hard, in Montana, all of those places, and they've made great progress leading up to their
lost.
No, but they lost. But again, there are 70 races that are easier for us than any of those. We would never have chosen to go in. There was so much excitement in the country to act against the election in November. So this isn't. These people were against me last November. They started this before. The fact is this. I led in 05 and 06 to take us to the majority, became Speaker of the House. President Obama became president. He was our spokesperson for 8 years. We just lost the election. We could write a message, but the fact is we need our members to write the message. And they know full well that that is something we're working with the Senate to go forward.
Why don't you think you should step aside?
Let me tell you why I should stay instead. Okay. Because I'm a master legislator. I'm experienced in terms of knowing the institutional memory of the Congress. If Hillary Clinton had won, I might have gone home. But with Donald Trump in the White House, with a Republican majority in both houses, no way.
After President Trump won, President Obama came out. I remember being at the White House, and he said Democrats are characterized as coastal, liberal, latte-sipping, politically correct, out-of-touch folks. We have to be in those communities. How do you do that in 2018?
Well, he was just president for 8 years. I don't think he was describing himself in that way.
He was describing the challenge you have in 2018.
But we always have a challenge. And that is, again, I take it back to the Affordable Care Act. So many people benefited from it. Some of them voted for Donald Trump. So we have to, I always say to people, it happens with your spouse as well. Mm-hmm. If you think you're communicating and they don't think you're communicating, you're not communicating. So it isn't about our agenda. It isn't even about our message. It's about our communication of it. And right now, this week, we're in a fight for our lives and the lives of many people in our country because we must defeat what is going on in the Senate.
You said you're a master legislator. Let's see your sense of where the Congress is. What kind of bill will come out of the Senate? And we know that. Will the president and will the Republicans get enough votes in the Senate to pass it?
I don't think anybody knows that right now. Maybe Mitch McConnell does. But right now, at this moment on Monday, we haven't seen the CBO report yet. We do know that many more people, millions, hundreds of thousands of people will die if this bill passes.
But you don't think there's room to fix this legislation? You're saying out of hand.
No, let me be very clear, and thank you for that question. The Affordable Care Act, we can work together to
Republicans and Democrats can fix it.
Absolutely. And that was what we had hoped that President Trump would want to do from the start, instead of sabotaging it. Some of the ills of it are because of the Republicans, when they took power, not renewing some of the things that were in there. And any bill that is passed you see implementation and you know how you can improve it. But these bills, systemically, structurally, they are very, very harmful to the American people. They will raise costs with fewer benefits, have an age tax. If you're 50, nobody here, of course, 50 to 64, they will undermine Medicare. They will throw millions of people, tens of millions of people off.
Is there anything that you see in the Republican bill, though, that you think that you all can work with, that you can sit down, nothing?
And willing to work with.
Structurally, no, it's not a question of willing. Structurally, this undermines Medicare in the long run. This is so essential.
So if this bill passes and goes back to the House, can it pass in the House?
It depends on, see, right now they're going to the right in order to pick up votes. And if they pick up votes on the right, then they may lose the moderate votes that they got in the House.
It's just great to have you here.
It's my pleasure to be here, and we have to have people write their senators, write their Congress people.
And you're not going anywhere.
Well, I stay at the pleasure of my caucus, and I'm very pleased with the support that I have from them.
Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi.